Welcome, fellow Commander enthusiasts. As fans of this channel are surely aware, I am a fan of Spellslinger. I love playing them, designing them, and building them. For the most part, Spellslinger is the domain of Izzet. While every color identity has instants and sorceries, spells become more powerful when you copy them. And the colors that can most easily copy instants and sorceries are red and blue. Adding a third color to the mix can open up more possibilities. Green grants you access to better mana. Black has the best board wipes as well as the best tutors. White has the best spot removal and amazing mana ramp. But what if you were to cut either red or blue? What if you wanted to build a Spellslinger deck that was in a 3-color combination that was normally associated with other archetypes? Before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. I've been very happy with the growth this channel has had so far, and I'm excited to see where we're going. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Damon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Jund is a color identity mostly associated with sacrifice and graveyard recursion. Don't believe me? Let's head on over to EDH Rec for a quick peek. Out of the top 12 most played Jund commanders, 7 of them are either sacrifice or graveyard themed. That's almost 2/3 of the top Jund commanders. But then Strixhaven came out, and every color got at least a few good cards with Magecraft. And the one that made me want to build this deck was Witherbloom Apprentice. Witherbloom Apprentice is a 2-mana 2/2 human druid with Magecraft. Whenever we cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life and we gain 1 life. But Witherbloom Apprentice isn't a legendary creature, and it's also lacking red in its color identity. We need to copy spells, and neither green nor black is very good at that. So we need a legendary Jund commander that can fill that role. Only, there aren't any. Thank WotC for partners. Tana the Bloodsower is a 4-mana 2/2 legendary elf druid with trample. She also says that whenever we deal combat damage to a player, we create that many 1/1 green sapperling tokens. And as a creature with partner, we can have another partner share the command zone. Tevish Zat, Doom of Fools, is a 5-mana planeswalker with partner, and the static text that lets us run him as our commander. He has 3 activated abilities. His +2 creates 2 0/1 Black Thrall creature tokens. His +1 says we may sacrifice a creature or a planeswalker, and if we do, we draw 2 cards. We then draw another card if the sacrificed creature was a commander. His ultimate ability, which costs 10 loyalty, says we gain control of all commanders, and we put all commanders from the command zone onto the battlefield under our control. Now, we aren't a sacrifice deck. We're a Spellslinger deck, but we do have some sacrifice cards with draw or other effects attached to it. But I deliberately did not put in any aristocrat effects into this deck. I also kept the budget at a friendly $100. But before we get into the deck list, we should keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Let's start with lands, and you'll see why in a minute. To start, we've got Command Tower, Bojuka Bog for graveyard hate, Myriad Landscape for ramp, an Evolving Wilds and a Terramorphic Expanse for color fixing, 9 forests, 17 mountains, and 5 swamps. The reason we're running so many basics is because they're cheap, and most of our ramp comes in the form of spells. Spells that we can copy. Nature's Lore, Farseek, Rampant Growth, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Explosive Vegetation, Migration Path, and Harvest Season. We're also running Brass's Bounty and Stormkiln Artist as treasure generators, Goblin and Narcomancer as a cost reducer, and Soul Ring as our Soul Mana Rock. For card advantage, we're running Village Rites, Deadly Dispute, Costly Plunder, Plumb the Forbidden, Inspired Tinkering, Escape to the Wilds, The Scorpion God, and Sunbird's Invocation, as well as Regrowth and Eternal Witness as Graveyard Recursion. Our interaction package consists of Wild Ricochet, Chef's Kiss, Abrade, Wild Magic Surge, Artifact Mutation, Beast Within, Feed the Swarm, Bedevil, Shatterstorm, Zat's Will is our second piece of Graveyard Hate, and Return to Nature is our third. Our board wipes consist of Blasphemous Act and Black Sun Zenith. Now, we wouldn't be a Spellslinger deck without rituals. To start, we've got Dark Ritual, Desperate Ritual, Manamorphose, Seething Song, and Early Harvest. To copy all of our spells, we've got Double Cast, Bonus Round, Arcane Bombardment, Double Vision, Increasing Vengeance, Reiterate, Mirari, Storm King's Thunder, and Twinning Staff. Finally, we get our payoffs. Aria of Flame quickly gets out of control and can be used as either Planeswalker or player removal. Electrostatic Field, Gutter Snipe, Witherbloom Apprentice, Kessig Flamebreather, and Professor Onyx all add damage effects to our sorceries. Imagine winning the game by copying a Cultivate. Sedgemoor Witch, Young Pyromancer, and a Rasta of the Endless Web each help to get a bunch of tokens on board, which we can use as blockers or sack outlets. Radiant Performer acts as a secret board wipe, while Banefire, Comet Storm, and Jaya's Immolating Inferno all serve as finishers, assuming we have the mana, which we will. Let's take a look at our deck and see how it compares to our checklist. 53 mana sources split between 36 lands, 12 pieces of ramp, and 5 rituals. 10 pieces of card advantage, 11 pieces of spot removal, 2 board wipes, 3 pieces of graveyard hate, no sudden I win cards, but lots of game-ending combos. One of the things I'm hoping to do with this deck is generate 10 or so tokens, swing out with them, cast Harvest Season, copy it, cast Early Harvest, copy it, then kill the table with a giant Comet Storm. All before blockers are declared. That just sounds hilarious. But it's not the only synergy this deck has. Now, the deck is currently at $96, but that could change at any time. So we are under budget. But if I wanted upgrades, the first one I would go for is Chain of Smog. It combos nicely with both Professor Onyx and Witherbloom Apprentice, but it's $10. I'd also add an Unbound Flourishing to make our finishers deal more damage, as well as a Crackle with power. Finale of Promise is a wonderful finisher in a Spellslinger deck. Pyretic Ritual and Thermopod both slot in nicely as well. And for mana ramp, I'd add a Skyshroud Claim, 3 visits, Ashnod's Altar, and a Primal Amulet. I tried keeping most of these cards in the deck originally, but even with running almost all basics, the deck was just too expensive. I'm going to fiddle with this deck for a bit and see what I like about it. But there was another Jund partner pairing that caught my eye. So tune in next week for another Jund Spellslinger deck. That one will not be budget. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. I post new Commander deck videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Dana.